Okay, so a question that comes up quite often is it safe in Cambodia? As a foreigner, can I just walk around anywhere I want without any worries? Well, I'm going to put it to the test. I'm here, as you can see, I'm on my own, and I'm going to go for a little walk and see how safe I feel. I don't actually have any worries. I think I'm going to be perfectly safe, but I'd like you to see. For a little background, I'm not in Siem Reap, I'm in Pailin, which is a province to the west, and it's not what you call a place where tourists typically go. I think through the course of this video you'll be very lucky if you see one other barang or foreigner. So let's just walk. We'll have a nice look around, see what there's got going on, but we'll see how comfortable I feel, if I feel safe, and you can judge for yourself. I think the biggest danger is going to be of me losing my way, because well, I've been here a few times. I don't usually walk. I'm usually on the back of a motor or in a car. So we'll see how we go. Look at that, can you see that? Up on the top of the hill. Big golden Buddha. Beautiful. There you go, first interaction. Nothing but smiles. What's this over there? Another golden building. To be fair, we're on a bit of a back road at the moment. When we get to the top here, hopefully we'll see more of an actual town up here. Temperature today, I'd say, is around about 28 to 30. It's a little overcast, which helps keep the temperature down, but it's still quite humid, and I think walking for too far in this heat is not really an option for a big fat man like me. We'll see how far I get. Look at this is quite beautiful. It goes all the way along. I think I'll give you a quick view over there now, but we'll walk back that way if we can get across the road. Okay. The only real danger in this area is crossing the road successfully, although nowhere near as busy as Siem Reap. The method of driving, the way they scoot around all over the show, is pretty similar, and you have to be on your guard all of the time. Let's see if we can get over here. As per usual, it's clear one way but not the other. I think we'll get halfway and then see what we can do. There we go. Oh, nicely done, if I do say so myself. Now what's all this? small market stalls. There seem to be a lot selling gold and jewellery. Much like the Thais, I believe they do like to hold on to gold. It's like an instant source of money should they need it. Gold can easily be sold anywhere. Oh, it's just very pretty. Some rather nice fruit coming up. I recognise the bananas, of course, and the durian. The others just look like blackberries to me, but I'm sure they're something much more tropical and interesting. Let's go up the stairs, see what's up there. I know what's up there already. It's a big statue of Grandma, someone who is quite revered, but I'm not sure how or why, because I've done no research and I'm not an expert. Beautiful. People like to come, take pictures, give donations. No smoking allowed. I should think not. That would be very disrespectful. Ooh. Jewelry. Fruit. Fruit you buy there is mainly for giving as an offering to Grandma. The jewellery, of course, is to take home and wear. First of many jewellery and gold stores. I would imagine there'll be lots of places selling gemstones here, because Pailin, which is where we were, I don't know if I told you. Hello! Pailin, which is where we are, quite famous for its gemstones. They're found all over the area. Not so much now, but they certainly were in the past. Look at all the gemstones here. Beautiful. Buy some gemstones, this is definitely the place to come. Let's move along. Oh, more gold and jewellery. Golden jewellery everywhere. Let's go back to the steps. go down and make our way back towards those rather magnificent buildings we saw earlier. The obligatory food stalls, which you'll see everywhere you go. People love to eat. Check these out. Rather lovely. No idea what type of building that is. It's very pretty. Very well decorated. Maybe not well decorated recently, but when it was well decorated, I'm sure it looked even more beautiful than it does now. Again, so far, I feel nothing but safe. It's okay, I just walk all the way down and back again. Okay. Maybe after I can go up there. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Look at this one. Elephants, what's that behind the elephant? Another beautiful looking building. Let's let this car come out. I think he's waiting for me, but I'll wait for him. Let's have another look at these fruits and whatever else they are. Creep in behind him and look at this building. Can't see much of it. I'll have a look another time. Now, look at this. This is pagoda. Look. Wow. Look at this. Beautiful. That's... Can I go home? Yeah. That was, wait, let me get this right. That was my wife's sister's husband. Does that make him my brother-in-law? Anyway, he came to offer me a lift. I told him I'm happy to walk. I want to walk, see things on foot. So I know everything is okay. The tourists can come, everyone is safe. But this just goes to show the generosity of the Khmer people. He didn't want me to be alone, wanted me to have someone with him, to give me a lift. I said, he's okay, he can go home, rest, relax, because I walked a long way. If I need him, I can always give him a call. Now, down here. Moving slightly away from the wouldn't even call it a tourist area because they don't have tourists here so much. But the area where the locals go and congregate to have a nice time, either for religious reasons or to eat. This is all the working town. Down here you'll find the market and all various other bits and pieces, but you won't find anything that is tailored towards tourists, or certainly not tailored towards people like me or you probably. But let's have a look. I'm sure we're still going to feel perfectly safe and at home and have no worries whatsoever, except the traffic, as I said before, which is a constant drain on my feeling of well-being. Now, what's down here? Do I go down here or straight on? Let's have a look. Cars and motorbikes. Little shops. This is one thing you might want to just make yourself aware of. You won't need it for Siem Reap. I don't see it much around Siem Reap, but in the more provincial towns, at the side of the road, they have these big blocks with gaps. And if you're not careful, or you've had a few too many beers, the gaps can catch you out, and you might just twist your ankle on one of those. But as far as danger goes, that's about as much danger as I've come across. I wonder, where am I going? And you see, people wave and smile. It's beautiful. Not at all what you'd find, or certainly where I live, or where I come from, which is a little place called Basildon in Essex. There they might put two fingers up at you, but they'd have them turned the other way round, and they wouldn't be smiling, they'd be uttering obscenities and oh. Well, anyway, I'm not doing a good job of painting Basildon in a good light, am I? But that's not my job here. Café Bonjour. Every now and again you'll still see some influence from when the French colonised Cambodia and were the ruling country. Not so much, mainly in architecture, especially in Battambang I find. Although everywhere has a certain amount. So you tell me, all the people you've seen go by, how many were foreigners? Absolutely none. There's time. I don't think you'll see any. Which is fine by me. Less of us the better. Generally speaking, I think it's the foreigners that cause the problems. Not me, of course, I'm perfect. That was a joke before you start sending messages telling me I'm far from perfect. I'm well aware of that fact. Thank you very much. Okay, now coming up we have, not just yet, but coming up soon, I think it's the only hotel in the town. There may be others, but this is the one I'm familiar with, the only one I recall seeing, well, certainly the only one I've stayed in. Another smile and wave. Everybody friendly. Is it safe in Cambodia? You tell me, what do you think? I'll tell you, I certainly feel more safe walking down the streets here than I would at home. I certainly wouldn't ever consider walking down the street in my hometown with a camera and a phone and a nice watch. There'd be someone come along on a moped and have it out of my hand before I got to the end of the street, especially if I ventured into London. Things are getting quite bad. Whereas here, no problem. Everybody friendly, everybody happy. If you get any reaction at all, it's a smile and a wave, and a hello, or susdai. Smiles seem to be the universal language of Cambodia, because everybody understands them, everyone knows what it means. Welcome to my country, have a nice time, we're glad to have you. Enjoy yourself. Having said that, remember it's not your country, it's their country, they have rules and traditions and ways of doing things. You should always seek to respect their way of doing things. Don't try to change them into your way, because it's just not fair. Why should they change? You've come to visit their country. Hats. What's going on here? Rather pretty. Let's get a bit closer. At night time, you can see this, whatever you want to call it, that goes over the road, is fully illuminated. It has hundreds of lights on it. It's a real sight to be seen. I can muster up the energy. I might just come down here later with a drone and show some drone footage of it at night. Fresh coconuts. Water, everything you need. Everything. Can I go around this way? Yeah, easy. Rather nice. It reminds me of the big monument. I believe it's a war monument of some description in Phnom Penh. Only their one is obviously a lot bigger and grander. Judging by the wreaths of flowers, I'd say this is probably a war monument as well. Not long ago they had their Remembrance Day. It's all very quickly. Oh, a big screen over there. 2025. For what is essentially a small town, they do quite well for themselves, the way they present themselves. Look at all the... over here. Where am I going? If only I knew. Alright, I'm going to check here. Cross halfway again when it's clear. Alright, remember, look left, don't look right. They come from the other side. Unless, of course, you come from the 90% of the world that actually drives on the right and not the left. Or is it the left and not the right? Anyway, just be wary. They might come from the opposite side to that which you expect. What have we got here? At night time this place comes alive. There are market stalls all around, and just here there's a little it's like a little ride for children. It's like a train, goes round on tracks. The kids love it. Some exercise machines if you fancy some exercise. I'm not sure if I'm up to that right now, or indeed if I even know what to do with them. Oh yeah, they look pretty straightforward. They've even got a bench press. Nice. All in all, quite nice. Little place over here for the kiddies. I'm assuming in the evening this lights up and has some kind of water display. I'm sure it looks beautiful. Again, I might come back with a drone. We'll have a look. Something for the kiddies. No kiddies about. I suppose they're at school. Okay. Let's start making our way back the way we came, but on the other side of the street. It's now getting a bit hot. Let's see, I've been walking for 15, maybe 20-25 minutes in this heat. That's quite a workout. You don't need the exercise machines. Well, for your average person it's probably not. As I say before, I'm a big fat bloke, so for me it is. Got to do something about that. Every time I see someone who's seen me before, they say, oh, you put on some kilos. Oh, well, thank you for telling me, but yeah, I know. Now I want to lose them. Little mountains in the background, can you see them? Behind the buildings. Beautiful. And what building is this? I'm just casually walking past without taking a proper look. And then there's pictures. You see a lot of these pictures around of the monarchy, shall I say? Kings, queens, prime ministers, heads of state. And you also see something which I like a lot, but now I'm about to mention it, I can't see a single one. Over there you see a lot of flags flying, national flags. Their flag is rather pretty, the red and the blue with the white image of Angkor Wat. It is, I believe, the only flag in the world that has a picture of a building on it. I'm going to take my word for that. I'm full of useless facts and most of them are wrong, but that's certainly one I heard before. Okay. There's been a big outcry in England recently about the flying of national flags, and I think it's a terrible shame that in your own country, if you fly your own national flag, you're seen as something less than patriotic. You're seen as something right-wing and far-right and racist. What if you're just someone who loves your country? You can't fly your own national flag? It's ridiculous. That's not to say you can't. From your own home you can. But you're made to feel like you shouldn't. And that because you do, you are some kind of left-wing or right-wing racist. It's terrible. More flags. Everybody flies a flag here because they love their country. That's all it means. There's no hidden message, there's no subcontext. I love my country, this is my country's flag, I want to fly it. Everyone can see I love my country. But still, enough of that. That's not what you came here for. Now, another question I get asked a lot is how easy is it to get by without knowing the language? And trust me, I don't know the language. I know some words here and there. Yes, no, please, thank you, how much. The usual things that get you by once in a blue moon. But I am in no way confident with speaking Khmer. How do I get by? Well, number one, I have a Khmer wife. She says everything for me, so that's kind of a cop-out. But when I'm alone, as I am now, and people want to talk, generally speaking, in a town like this, which is a long way away from Siem Reap where the tourists come, English is not spoken widely. I find Google Translate helps a lot, but the biggest help I find is a smile. Everybody smiles, everybody's happy, and then you can just point to what you want. Remember to say thank you and please and how much. It's quite easy. With a little bit of effort on your side, they'll put in just as much effort on their side, but you'll find a way. You always do. This down that road. In the background, the mountain. Here. for me to stop walking, sit down, have a drink and a rest. But I've walked so far away from my starting point that that's not going to happen. I have to walk a lot more. I'll manage. Everywhere you look, places to eat. Hotel I was talking about earlier that I never actually showed you. It's quite nice. I stayed in there just 1 year ago. I stayed in there. The rooms were $15 a night. A nice big bed, AC, shower, bar, toilet, everything you need. $15 a night. Unbelievable. Over there's a restaurant just next to it. You're hungry in the morning, go there, eat some breakfast. Breakfast wasn't included for $15, but for an extra $2 or $3 you can have a nice breakfast. It really is not expensive. Here we have a clinic. I guess this is kind of like the local hospital on a small scale. Usual type of shops, clothes. These clothes look like they could be second hand. I'm sure the price is extraordinarily reasonable. Everything you want you can find here. Maybe not everything, but most of the things you would want, I imagine you can find here. What can't you find? I don't know. I was going to say top of the range laptops and computers and mobile phones, but you know, I see a lot of stores here. What are they called? Oppo. They sell all the latest mobile phones. Some you'll have never seen back in your country because they don't sell them, but ones that look fantastic. And of course they have all the Samsung and iPhone. For a small town, that's a rather impressive looking bank. Sathapana Bank. Yeah, it is very impressive looking for such a small town. Some ironwork. This is where you come. Or indeed plastic tubing for your plumbing. Another bank, Green Bank. There are so many different banks in this country. have a little look now. Prices for petrol or gasoline, whatever you choose to call it in your country. LPG 2,100 as well. If you use LPG, you're very lucky. That's about $half a dollar a litre for standard gasoline or petrol that you'd put in your car, unleaded. You're talking around about $1 per litre, which, hello, you see, they call for me. Hello, hello. They want wave, they want smile. Yeah, so $1 per litre, that's US dollar, which in the UK would work out to around 90 pence a litre. Feel free to correct me, that's just a guess. A half-educated guess, but a guess nonetheless. So, what is it currently in the UK? £1.30, which I'm going to say is roughly $1.50. So, if you're buying 30 to 40 litres, that's quite a big difference. To be fair, most people here ride motorbikes or scooters, but there's still plenty of cars about. Cars over here are ridiculously expensive. I think it's something to do with import charges. Even the second-hand ones, the old second-hand ones, cost so much money. I can't envisage myself buying a car, to be honest. Not with the prices the way they are. But who knows? Maybe one day. Hardware store, everything you could possibly need. Hoses, tools, more piping. Here we are. Let me see. Half an hour. More than that, I believe. As much as you may be loving the sights and sounds of Cambodia, in particular this little piece of Pailin, I'm sure the sound of my voice is getting right on your nerves. In fact, I know it is, because some of you have told me as much. Told me my voice is as boring AF. Well, thank you very much for that, but I'm afraid it's the only one I've got, so you're stuck with it. I try not to use it too much, but sure the video would be even more boring AF if I didn't at least give you some background into what's going on where I am. More gemstones for sale. Now you can see a better view of the fruit I was looking at before, and this rather beautiful pagoda entrance. Look at this. You can see, absolutely stunning. Incredible. For just a small town. A small town that's taken up mostly by the this pagoda. Behind this wall, through that gate there, is a rather, I've been through there, it's a large pagoda along with its grounds. It's beautiful. I'll try and find some footage to show you, but I don't think I actually have any. If you go back, should you have the inclination to look at some of my previous videos, some of the videos of last year's New Year, where the monk festival with the water, that was filmed inside there. View of this as well from a distance, so you can better see it. Where do they lead these stairs? Up to where? Further, so you can see up the stairs. A little bit of a, I'm afraid this camera only has a 2x zoom, so that's not much of a help, but I'll see if I can do something in the editing, just get more of a zoom into there. But it's very beautiful. Now let's keep walking. To work out where I am, where I'm going, to make myself in a place where I know my way back to home. Not my home, I might add, my wife's parents' home. That's why you'll see a few videos of me in Pailin. It's where my wife's parents live. We come here to visit them quite often, and I go for a little walk and take some videos. I believe this is right back where we started. Feeling there might be some rain on its way soon. Thank goodness I got the walking bit out of the way first. No gemstones. Not that many people are really buying gemstones every day, but this many people can make a living from it. I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm sure it must be yes. Otherwise they wouldn't be making a living from it, and their stores have closed down. Closed now. Get a final look over towards this building, which is roughly where we started, and I'm going to answer my original question and pose a question for you. Is it safe in Cambodia? Safest place I've been. I've never felt anything but welcome appreciated, and made to feel so much love and friendship from the people. You've seen me for the last 30-40 minutes wandering around this town. Have you seen anything that made you think, oh, that's a bit dodgy, I wouldn't go there? You won't have done, because there is nothing like that. In fact, go back and count. How many times did I have to stop to say hello or smile and wave to someone? In my hometown, the answer to that would have been 0. No one waves, no one smiles, no one says hello. Here, people are genuinely happy to see you. They smile, laugh, say hello. And they want to know about you. Safety is always going to be a little bit to do with your perspective on things, how you've been brought up, what you're expecting from life. If you go out with the mindset that this place is dangerous, I'm going to get attacked, something's going to go wrong, I'm going to be mugged, then no matter how safe that place is, that's always going to be your mindset. My advice to you would be, if you come here to Cambodia, not specifically Pailin. Pailin is representative of the whole country, that as far as I've seen, everybody is very happy and very welcoming. I don't think you should come here with that mindset. You should come here with a mindset of, I'm going to a country that is different from mine, has different ways of doing things, the people are different, but the people are friendly, the people wish you no harm whatsoever. You know, you're safer here than you are in many western towns and cities. I wouldn't think twice about walking these streets in darkness. In fact, I have. I probably will tonight. Never had any issue. My only issue is finding a good place to eat. Not because there are few on the ground, but because there are so many. How do I choose one from so many? And that's in a small town like this. Go to Siem Reap, the problem intensifies. You need to stay there 6 months just to enjoy all the beautiful food that's there. Anyway, enough from me. This is me signing off. I hope you've enjoyed this small look at Pailin. I hope you've had your fears eased about how safe it is to come to Cambodia. And I hope maybe one day I'll see you here. Thanks for watching. Please remember, if there's anything at all that's been of value to you, subscribe, share, comment. Sorry, I'm talking so slow now. It's because I've walked too far in this heat. I'm out of breath. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon, I hope.